So in this video, we are going to recycle some of the trashy mixed race comments made by some black people on my other video. For context, if you are a monoracial black or white person who has never come across these strange racial politics, let me just give you an explanation, just to give you a little bit of a context, I guess. Navigating the world as a black and white biracial person can be interesting, not in a good way, not really because of you having any issues, because I personally love being what I am. I don't have a problem with being both black and white, but some people do have a problem with me being that. And I'm not talking about white people in this video. I'm not saying white people are perfect. I'm just saying this video addresses the black community, or some people in the black community, because again, it's not all, it's just some, it's a group. So there is a group in the black community who want to blackwash you, essentially. They don't want you to identify with your white ancestry at all. They want you to claim blackness all the way. To make it more personal, my grandmother, my grandfather, my mother are the people who raised me. My Polish grandmother, grandfather, mother, they are the ones who raised me. They are Caucasian people. They loved me. They invested themselves into me, you know, making sure that I had everything that I needed. So these people, I mean, it's just laughable to me, really, but it's also ridiculous, because these people come in and say, oh, you should just reject your whiteness or any connection to the Caucasian people. You should claim to be all black. It's ridiculous. I want to add to the personal aspect. If you have been watching this channel for a while, you have likely seen some of my Polish friends in one or more of my Polish vlogs. Beyond that, on a more academic level, Poland is the country where I received my education, university level education. Then in London, the Polish media were one of the first media to support me when I started publishing my books. These are my people. These Caucasians you dislike so much are my people. So here's an example. A stranger pops up on my video, which is completely unrelated to his cause and completely unrelated to my life. And they give me an ultimatum like this. I'm going to put the comment up here somewhere. You make sure you stay in Europe with this topic and don't come to the US with it. We are in a major delineation movement here, and we are no longer interested in these kinds of conversations. Simply put, we don't do the mixed race stuff anymore. We only recognize the black identity, or if you are not, of our identity. It's not just a genetic identity, it's also an ethnic and socially connected identity. Many of what you call mixed race people identify as black people here in the States. And it's been this way since this country's inception, which isn't true, because the US Census has changed descriptions so many times if you look back. I'm not an expert, but that I know. So clearly you need to go back to your history. But anyway, but now there's a growing number of people like you who want to have their own classification. It's not about classification. Oh my God. And that's cool. Clearly it's not cool, because you would not be dropping a comment like this on my channel if it was cool with you. But since we are now in this mode, we can no longer accept people among us who may have dual allegiances. Oh my God. But this only applies to us proud black Americans. And if you don't care to connect with us, then that's fine as well. Oh my goodness. First of all, I don't connect with people based on their color. So yes, he gives me this ultimatum so that I can be part of his group or their group, whatever it's called. I mean, it's madness. First of all, I'm okay where I am, okay? Second of all, I'm happy to connect with anybody of any color if they want to connect with me. Color is not a thing. But what I am saying is I am not going to denounce my part of who I am, whether you like it or not, just because you don't like it. Never going to happen. By the way, I just want to shout out to Mulatto Vanguard. Thank you so much for addressing this comment on your video, on one of your videos as well. Okay, but then there is another level of commentary. These people are more radical. We are still talking about the Black community, you know, the toxic Pan-African Black community, I would say, probably toxic. Putting emphasis on the toxic, because I'm not against Pan-Africanism. I am against toxicity, and that's what I see in this comment. So, you know, these people are more radical. They don't want to blackwash you. They want to erase you. They don't want you to exist at all. So they will say things like this: intermixing should be against the law. And this is really the comment that triggered this video. So yes, if you are not a black and white biracial, you may find this shocking, but this happens a lot. And unfortunately, things like that happen a lot in the Black community. My experience, these things have not happened to me in the white community. In the white community, for the most part, I mean, I either vibe with someone or I don't, and I don't delve into the reasons why we don't like each other. I'm just saying these things happen to me a lot more. These attacks happen to me a lot more from the Black community, and this is not the first time. And then of course there is the Black community, the majority from the Black community, let me just say that as well, I get a lot of laugh from. So again, I'm not generalizing at all, but specifically in England, and you know, especially on my channel, like from Black Americans, I got a lot of different comments that are just that, you know, what I've just described to you. Again, I do get a lot of laugh from the Black community as well, so please don't misunderstand. This is just a group of people who are the loudest, like they like to shout. Most of the times I ignore their comments. This is not the first time I've had these on my channel. Every now and again I react, but for the most part I just ignore them. But you know, sometimes when the clouds are full of rain, they must empty themselves. And sometimes you have to recycle trash, right? Otherwise, it becomes a problem. So that's what we are doing here, recycling trash. And again, do not misquote me. I did not call these people trash. I'm just saying that the stuff that comes out of their mouth is trash, if you ask me. And that is what I'm recycling, right? So yes, these are some of the weird and totally unnecessary things, unnecessary conversations that happen in Afropean spaces. And I just decided to pop in and recycle this comment that triggered me. There was one more comment that has since been deleted, not by me. I think the person who posted it deleted it, so I can't really show it to you. That one was made by someone who identified as a Nigerian. So that made me a bit more sad than these others, because you know, I'm a Nigerian, and this guy essentially said that, well, we don't need mixed race people in sub-Saharan Africa. Sub-Saharan Africa is for Black people only, and stuff like that, you know. So yes, all this made me feel a little bit creative. So I decided to write a poem in response to all these comments, right? But before I get to that, that's going to be my final response, okay? But before we get to that, I just want to read a comment that someone wrote in response to the intermixing should be against the law comment. I don't know whether he's white or mixed, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. What he said is true, so I'm going to read it to you. Everyone is mixed to some degree, even if you aren't mixed with black, white, yellow, brown, red, or whatever lens you look at human race from. Because views on race aren't one-dimensional, how you view race in USA is not the same way race is viewed in South Africa, and these two view race differently from how Brazilians view race. Also, you may be mixed with other things within the same color group / race. Where do you draw the line when it comes to legality of mixing? Should the line be drawn at nationality, ban marriages between people of different countries? Should it be drawn at tribes? Should it be drawn at race? So people of different race but same country can't marry, whereas people of different countries of origin but same race can get married. Where should you factor tribe and ancestry factors in all of these? And what happens to those who are already mixed? Must they marry only mixed people or what? Ask them these questions and see their ignorance unravel. Mixing has been going on since recorded history began. There are Africans alive today who have never left Africa with European DNA. That is so true. I was watching a program about Cape Verde. That country is in West Africa and it's completely mixed. Almost the majority of the people there are mixed race, mixed with the Portuguese. So yes, as he's saying, there are Africans alive today who have never left Africa but still have European DNA in them. And there are Asians today who have never left Asia with African DNA, and very dark black-skinned people, especially in India and the Philippines. What happens to them? Hate is not the way. We are only temporary tenants on earth, no matter your skin color. I love this. You will not be here for more than 200 years. You had to come to Earth through someone. That person had to be one of the existing colors on the human color scheme. There is nothing special about any of it. See it as a temporary cloth. In less than 150 years, you will take it off. I love it. Let me say this to you as well. The Nigerian guy who commented, he also said that, mixed race people are the remnants of colonization and stuff like that. First of all, let me just say this. I am Polish and Nigerian, but Polish too, right? Poland has never colonized any African country. So, pass me with that conversation. My forefathers did not colonize your forefathers, so we can just not even go there. However, even if you're addressing people from Portugal or England or the US or whatever, drop it. It was their forefathers who colonized your forefathers, and they're all dead now, right? Stop it. It's ridiculous. We have to, on a personal level, I'm not talking about reparations and all that stuff, and returning artifacts to Benin. I'm not talking about those situations. I'm talking about personal, human to human, face to face. You are meeting someone for the first time and straight away you treat them as if they are a colonizer. But I just wanted to add this. I just want to say that Poland never colonized any African country. That's one. Two, even those countries, even the citizens of those countries that colonized African countries should not be approached as if they are the ones who colonized your forefathers, because they did not. Those people are dead. So let's start from the beginning with the people who have come after them. And yes, I'm still coming to Nigeria, so deal with it. Intermixing should be outlawed, you say. They taught me about the likes of you at school back in the day. There is one in particular, you sound like his twin. He said there was only one pure nation, one skin to be in. Different tongue, the same talk. Different times and domains, yet one heart in disguise, echoing the same pure lies. If you colored this world with your hand, it would be so bland. Swallowed by the shades of grey. Yes, I learned about the likes of you at school back in the day. Pure-blooded, one-race dictators, looking for spectators to cheer you on like they did your brother from another mother, into killing another and another and another. Adolf was his name, maybe Adi or Dolphy when he was a little boy. He changed the world, like you might if you could. If your ideology had the chance to bloom, your mind seems a half-caste, incomplete as a man, inauthentic, not black enough, someone to make disappear. You are Adolf's black comrade from the Anglosphere. They taught me about the likes of you. back in the day at school, wishing you could change the world, not for the better, no, not for good. And then there's your other brother, who hails from the continent. He says our land beneath the desert doesn't need mixed blood. Well, Oga, I'm on my way home. Ready or not, I'm coming back, carrying my green passport and whiteness, intertwined with black. I don't need a visa. I don't need your stamp, but your mind, even more than the other, makes me feel so sad, my brother. You, the Nazis and the colonizers, sound like one people, one mind, bound by a superiority complex, divided by the power gap. If you could make laws, would you stop at debate, or would you go all in, like your big brothers, in hate?